Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing What If Deku Was a Swordsman Part 5. Where I left off, and sorry for making it short, I just needed to do something else. But where we left off was where Aizawa was being beaten by the Nomu, and Zuko, Mineta, and Tsuyu was over at the edge watching this beatdown. Where a point where Zuko was about to lunge towards Aizawa to stop the Nomu. But Sir Rocky, he came by very quickly, which shocked sorry, Suyu and Manila, and Zuko gets that same vision in canon, where she's gonna disappear. Zuko, with reflex, swing his sword straight down in the sharp side, and actually caught his hand. No, sorry, on the blunt side. Sorry, I forgot it was a hero version. Dang it. With the blunt version, and smack it down, which really hurt him, almost like breaking his wrist. He said, well, he screamed and back away, but the no move finally came in and punched Zuko away about 3 feet, and he stopped. Sharaki said, "Oh man, no move, kill that kid," and the no move does. Go running towards Zuko. Zuko take a stance, and then he's only holding one blade right now, and he's uh, blocking every attack that the Nomu's throwing. One right hook, he blocked it with his sword. Another from it, same thing. He's holding off the Nomu. He is that strong. He can actually take a hit, tank a hit. Zuko now getting used to his fighting style, and seems that it's just a wild animal. So he thinks in his head, how about he fight him with a wild animal? So he pulls out his second sword, and they both turn grayish bluish, gray blue, pretty much. And he starts drawing at them, but in the sharp area. It's slow, it's a shallow cut, but it shows on the skin. And Shiraki is very surprised that this kid is cutting up the Nomu, even though his skin is very tough to cut through. But he still is bragging about how strong his Nomu is. And this is in the new cheat code boss, the next level boss. Sorry, I just have to get that one out. But Zuko doesn't care. He's actually getting more into the fighting, where it seems more random than even Nomu's fighting style. He's throwing a blade crazy like most kids would do without a dangerous weapon, but Zuko is doing it to a point where he's actually cutting up a few fingers in his hands. And this is when he realized the Nomu can regenerate his hands. He backs up a bit and try to figure out any way to stop it. So he decided to cut off his arms. So he take tank one punch, got hit on the side with the left, but that moment he cut off the left arm of the Nomu. He thinks that it will take him a while to regenerate, and when he turned around to look, it fully regenerated. Zuko noticed this and very damn it. That's what he said. And he pretty much points to Suyu and Manila and tells them, "You two, go to Aizawa, help him out, take him away, hurry." And they do. Off they went, taking up Aizawa, saying how bloody and beaten he is. But Aizawa told them to wait and just for a moment. He's been. Zuko looks over at Aizawa and sees that he's still awake. So Aizawa nods and Zuko's nod. Zuko gets ready and throw down and run towards the Nomu, cutting up as much as he can, his feet, legs, just make him slow down. And Aizawa is actually stopping his quirk, but he threw one punch. The Nomu threw one punch through Zuko, hit the ground, and still made a crater. Now they both now know that, that the Nomu is extremely strong without a quirk. Zuko gets another stance ray and breathes in, out, in, and did another slash at the Nomu. But right when he was about to connect his sword with the Nomu, he hears a scream in the distance. And the scream is echoing throughout the whole USJ. And Zuko actually stopped for that second, which, sadly enough, the Nomu took advantage, used its full force, and punched Zuko Midoriya away from him over to the mountains area. And with that hit against the wall, knocked him out. Even though he's very strong, it knocked Zuko Midoriya out. And the people that were over at the mountains, Jiro, Kaminari, and Momo, sees Zuko body falling, seemingly lifeless. Kaminari already took out everybody in the area. So did. Sorry, I'm like cold for some reason. So did Jiro and Momo took down some more of the other villains, and they ran off to Izuku. By this point, they hear banging sounds, and it's All Might. He came through the wall, through the doors with Ida and the rest of the well, no, just All Might right now. All Might sees what's going on, like in canon, and went towards the Nomu, and he's fighting with the Nomu. This time, the Nomu is a bit stronger. The reason it's so strong is because it took in all the damage that Zuko had given to him and made and just absorbed it, made it a little stronger. So now the fighting match between All Might and the Nomu is going on, and it's making shockwaves. Everybody can hear this. Over to our hero, Zuko is passed out and he's calm. No, but Momo is very shocked that, and she's trying to make some material to patch up any of the blood, and she's patching it up and making sure that he's okay. And Jiro is checking if he has a pulse, and she tells Momo and Karinari that he does have a pulse, but it looks like he's calmed down and he's passed out. But when All Might did the final punch towards the Nomu, it went straight towards the mountains as well, but all the way to the base. All Might is getting steaming, and he's saying in under his breath that he's almost out of time. But at least the Nomu, and he looks at it, and the Nomu stands back up and about to throw another punch, but not to All Might. The Nomu sees the kid and decide to go after him since he was ordered to kill that kid. 100% sure. So the Nobu is turned around towards Momo, Jiro, Karaminari, and the unconscious Zukumadori. They're standing up and trying embrace themselves to a fight, even though Kaminari, Jiro, and Momo are shaking, knowing they cannot defeat it. All in front of Izuku. All they're saying right now, Momo especially, said we are not letting our friend die by your hands. They're heroic like, but without them knowing. But All Might sees what's going on. He sees Zuku Midoriya standing up, holding his sword in a style, in a form, almost leaning to the floor. And they turn, and Momo turn around and sees Zuku pull out his sword, seeming like yellow. Jiro said, Kaminari, stop using your electricity. Kaminari said, I'm not using it. It's, and they hear the sound barrier breaking. Zuko, with a yellow flash, went straight towards the Nomu, cutting off the head but slicing straight down, almost parallel, through the brain, the head, the body, down to the legs, and did three more slashes across. Yeah, pretty much. And right in front of All Might. And he was like, he slashes the Nomu, have a few steps away, and put down the sword. At that moment, and he's standing there, holding his sword, not moving at all. And All Might and the rest of the class, they are finally getting closer together, and they saw that final move. And All Might is patting on Zuko's shoulder, and Zuko fell on the floor. And it seems like he still passed out. So now All Might realize that Zuko, with his body, he defeated the Nobu while being unconscious. Now all the other heroes and Ida came by and took care of the rest of the villains. Both the sh- the shadow guy and sorry, forgot their names. But the two villains got away. Everybody's getting ready to leave, and Zuko is taken to the hospital. Skipping to it, Recovery goes there and watching his files and seeing that this young man telling All Might that this young man has, I'm not sure how, but his brainwave seems like he's awake, but he is clearly unconscious. All Might takes this in and asks her if he has a moment. She said yes, and she'll leave. All Might pretty much pats on the Zuko's Midori head and said, "Young man, you did, did great. If it wasn't for you, I believe your friends would have died. You truly have acted as a true hero." Zuko, at that moment, wakes up and he kind of smiled at All Might and said, "Thanks, All Might." back to sleep. All Might takes uh, shed a tear and walks away. Next day comes, and the whole class was informed about getting 2 weeks off. As when Aizawa was about to leave, he bumps into Midoriya. Aizawa said, "Oh, young, young man, I see you're out of hospital. I'll have the class tell you." And he yawned, and Aizawa yawns and going back to his sleeping bag. He goes into Zuko walks into the classroom and said, "Hey guys, Momo, the past yesterday for her, she was crying, but she would just have bags on her eyes, and she and others, also Tokoyami and the tail guy, run towards Zuko, and with all the other students in the class running towards him, it actually made a big group hug. And Zuko actually pushed them away and said, "Hey, okay, that was too much." And they say, "Okay, okay." But they're asking questions, and Zuko told him that because of his training, he just needed some rest because that was real troublesome. I've never done that technique in a long time. And actually, Kaminari actually spoke up and asked, "Dude, what was that? You just killed that monster and you were passed out." Zuko said, "Well, that's the technique. It was from an old master of mine, and he told me that he can defeat a sort of monster. He's trying to put it together without telling much of it, and then he can defeat the monster even while he's passed out." Took me forever to get that right, but I never used it out of training. Tokoyami and Hajiro said, "Dude, that is so cool that you can even fight while you're passed out." Zuko kind of like laughs a bit and said, "Well, thanks, guys." But what did Aizawa said? I missed it. And they tell him that he has the whole class has 2 weeks until uh, school starts up again. Zuko takes this and said, "All right, see ya, guys. I'll be training, and I'll be ending it for no. I have more time." And now the day is over, and everybody's leaving. Zuko was actually the last one left because he was still like making sure everything was clean. Thinking like a neat freak, but not really. Plot convenience. As he was leaving, he was going to outside of the gate, and he sees someone there, standing there waiting. And Zuko said, "Hey, Momo, well, why are you waiting so long? Is your ride not here yet? Are you waiting for your ride?" Momo turned around and said, No, actually, I wanted to speak with you a bit." Zuko said, "Oh, okay. Uh, I know a park we can like just talk about, uh, talk." She said, "Yeah, that'd be good." They walk to the park and they're sitting on a bench. Zuko asks her, "What exactly do you want to know? Or what's the question?" She asks, And you do a lot of fighting styles. And Zuko said, yes, I have trained very hard for it. And she said, right, right, right. Can you teach me how to fight with a weapon and or how to fight? Zuko said, my fighting styles are very difficult to learn, but I'm. And he looked, and he kind of looks back at her, and she sees her seemingly more saddened. And Zuko said, and he thinks about it. Maybe I should. And said, okay, I'll try my best to teach you the basics. Since we only have 2 weeks, I'll try my best. All right? Momo perks up and said, "Oh, great. Um, you can come to my house. Here's the address." Uh, and Zook said, "Okay, I'll be there. I guess tomorrow. What time should I come in?" Momo said, "Around 10." And she's kind of like messing with her hair. Zuku takes this 10. Okay. What kind of fighting style do you want me to teach you? She said, something with a weapon, like your swords, or can you do other stuff? Zuko said, yes, I can do other stuff, but swords are my main component. I'll teach you how to use a shield and a blade, but more of a staff. Seeming, and he's thinking of the past usage of her quirk. She likes using a shield and a staff, so he's gonna teach her that. And they both leave the park, and Momo got picked up by her ride. As she was leaving, she kind of like waved by. Zuko said, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, Miss Yazaruzu. Momo got a little chilled from hearing that name, hearing it from Zuko, and said, yeah, yeah, and get into her car and leaves. Zuko leaves too, and he's planning for the training regiment for Momo. Now, I'm going to stop it for this point, mostly because, like every time, my phone is dying. I hope you guys like it. I did make it better from what my idea was. Sorry if you heard like a bunch of shaking or my voice was. I just, for some reason, either I felt really cold or I was excited for the fight. Either one. But anyway, thank you for listening and I'll see you next time. Bye.